Hello, everyone, and welcome to this month's free evening lecture. Thank you all for coming out on such a cold night. As I'm sure you've all seen from our library newsletter, our guest speaker this evening is Anders Solberg. Anders is a writer, filmmaker, and environmental activist. He's in town to attend a documentary film festival, but has kindly agreed to give one of our library lectures while he's here. I'm sure you're all as excited as I am to hear what he has to say.
Thank you for the warm welcome. It's a pleasure to be here. Over the last few months, the news about the environment hasn't been very good, has it? We've had the hottest ever temperatures in the South, record-breaking rainfall along the coast, food crops failing because of drought in central regions, oceans running out of fish, species going extinct. With all of this bad news, it's easy to feel discouraged, isn't it? It's easy to feel that our actions don't matter, and to give in to environmental fatigue. Why bother recycling, you might ask, if your neighbor does nothing? If business people continue to make products that cause pollution? And if politicians deny climate change is happening? It's pretty depressing, right? Well, maybe not. You see, my goal today is to give you hope for the future of our environment. And I'll do that by talking about some activists, some leaders, some scientists, some inventors, some business people who are not just going to change the world, in my view, but might also save the world. Who are these incredible people? They're kids. Yes, kids. I'll introduce you to some of them, shall I? First, we have Madhav Rajaram Subramaniam. As a young child, he learned that tigers were endangered. So he got together with a group of his friends and began raising money. He shined shoes, delivered packages, wrote poems, sang in the streets, sold merchandise, and even made people visiting his home pay a toll. He was just 13 years old. In just a couple of years, he and his friends raised thousands of dollars to protect tigers. More and more people in India are becoming aware of the importance of conservation, and kids like Madhav are part of the reason for that. A pretty amazing young man, isn't he? Next, meet Hannah Alper from Toronto, Canada. Hannah started blogging about the environment when she was just 9 years old. She's 13 in this picture, incidentally. She wanted to share her views and inspire others to take action. And she's definitely done that. She's been featured on television and in newspaper articles. Her blog posts are widely available online, and she regularly gives public presentations. Hannah's big idea is simple. Lots of little things can add up to something big. In other words, even small actions can save the environment. I was lucky enough to see Hannah give a talk recently, and I can tell you that I came away from her presentation with a restored sense of hope and optimism. My own daughter was inspired by her too. Moving on, there's Nikita Rafikov from the United States, who was just 11 when he came up with a pretty bright idea. Nikita had learned about something called GFP, which stands for green fluorescent protein. This is a kind of protein that is found in some marine organisms. We call these organisms bioluminescent, meaning they produce their own light. Nikita developed a way to add this protein into windows, which means that in the future, it might be possible for homes to have light without using electricity. And we all know how we generate electricity can have a big impact on the environment, don't we? And finally, there's Adeline Tiffany Suwana from Indonesia. When she was 12 years old, Adeline formed a group called Sahabat Alam, meaning Friends of Nature. This group now has thousands of members, many of whom are kids throughout Indonesia. Adeline and her group try to educate people about the environment. But they don't just talk about saving the planet, they take action too, such as planting trees, helping coral reefs, protecting species, and cleaning up the environment. One of my favorite things that Adeline and her friends have set up is a project that provides clean electricity from water power, a renewable energy source, to rural villages in Indonesia. And I'm not the only person who's impressed with Adeline. She's received awards from the United Nations too. Another incredible and inspiring young woman, wouldn't you agree? There are many other kids I could tell you about, and thousands of adults too, of course. I don't want to say that there is no crisis. Clearly, the environment could be in better condition. But instead of pessimism, I want you to feel optimism. because my belief is that children like these give us hope for the future, and I hope you feel the same way. Thank you very much.